Come closer. The shadows have missed you, and tonight they have a new story to tell. Welcome to Scary Stories After Dark. Marley had already turned the lights off when the game loaded. The apartment was quiet in that late, hollow way, traffic reduced to distant breath, the hum of the refrigerator too loud in the dark. The PlayStation fan whirred, steady and familiar, as the title screen flickered to life. The Mortuary assistant. She hadn't meant to buy it. It had appeared in her recommended list like a memory resurfacing. She told herself it was curiosity, closure, a way to laugh at something that had once scared her badly enough to quit without notice. The menu music was thin and droning, unsettling on purpose. Marley tightened the blanket around her legs and pressed New Game. A dim hallway appeared on screen, fluorescent lights, steel doors. The same colorless walls she'd sworn she'd never see again. She felt a small, stupid smile tug at her mouth. It's just pixels, she thought. Just sound design. Her phone buzzed on the coffee table. She ignored it at first. The hallway on screen stretched longer than it should have. The footsteps echoed wrong. Her controller vibrated faintly like a pulse. Her phone buzzed again. Marley sighed and reached for it, expecting a spam call or a work email she'd missed. The screen lit her face in pale blue. Unknown contact. Marley, I'm so sorry to do this so last minute. Her thumb hovered. Another message appeared. My tech called out. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't urgent. Her chest tightened. She hadn't given him her new number. She typed back slowly, deliberately. I told you I can't come back. 3 dots appeared, vanished, reappeared. Just one night, the message read, You won't be alone, I promise. Behind her, the TV screen went black. The fan kept whirring. Her phone buzzed once more. Please. Marley stared at the word until it stopped looking like language at all. Then she said, very quietly, to no one in particular, I told you I quit. Her reflection in the dark TV screen did not blink when she did. The mortuary looked smaller at night. Marley noticed it the moment she stepped out of her car, the way the brick facade seemed to fold inward on itself, as if the building had exhaled and forgotten to breathe back in. The parking lot lights hummed overhead, casting weak halos that didn't quite reach the edges of the asphalt. Her phone showed 11:47 p.m. She hadn't remembered agreeing to come so early. The front door unlocked easily, too easily. No resistance, no sticky latch, just a smooth click like it had been waiting. The air inside was cold in that specific way that bypassed skin and settled directly into bone. Hello? Marley called, her voice swallowed almost immediately. The lights flickered on one by one as she moved down the hallway, not all at once. A staggered response. Delayed. The smell hit her next, cleaner, layered over something old and sweet, like flowers left too long in water. She swallowed and adjusted her bag on her shoulder. The front desk logbook was open. Her name was already written in the next slot. Marley stared at it. The handwriting wasn't hers. She flipped back a page, then another. Her name appeared again and again. Dates stretching back weeks, months. Each entry neat, consistent, calm. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. She didn't look at it. The hallway lights dimmed slightly, then steadied. Somewhere deeper in the building, metal slid against metal, a drawer opening, slow and deliberate. Marley's breath came shallow now. She turned toward the sound, then stopped. At the end of the corridor, near the prep rooms, someone was standing. Her. Same clothes, same posture, head tilted slightly as if listening to something Marley couldn't hear. They stared at each other for a long moment. Then the other Marley stepped backward and folded seamlessly into the darkness as though swallowed by the wall itself. Marley stumbled back, heart hammering. "No," she whispered. "No, no." The overhead lights snapped to full brightness. The hallway was empty. Her phone buzzed again. This time she looked. "You made the right choice," the message read. "You always do." Marley's reflection in the glass door beside her smiled. She did not. Marley didn't remember deciding to start working. She became aware of it the way one realizes they've been holding their breath, suddenly, painfully. Gloves snapped tight around her wrists. Stainless steel reflected her face in warped fragments. The hum of the ventilation system pressed down on her thoughts until they flattened into something manageable. She focused on the routine. That was the mistake. The prep room felt longer than she remembered. The walls stretched just enough to make the far door seem unreachable. Every sound echoed twice, once real, once delayed. She kept glancing over her shoulder, expecting to see someone standing too close. Nothing was ever there when she looked. But sometimes in the reflection of the cabinets, she saw movement that didn't match her own. A figure passing behind her. Then two. She turned sharply. Empty room. Her heart raced. She forced a laugh that sounded brittle in her ears. "I'm fine," she said aloud, unsure who she was talking to. "I'm fine, I just need to finish and go home." The words didn't feel like hers once they left her mouth. A whisper brushed the edge of her hearing. Not words, just sound, soft, amused. She pressed her palms flat against the steel table, grounding herself. The cold steadied her for half a second, long enough to notice something wrong with the lights. They weren't flickering. They were dimming selectively. Above the far wall, 3 shadows stretched upward, distorted and elongated. Marley stared, her pulse pounding in her throat. Slowly, the shadows detached. 3 figures stood there now. All of them her. One leaned casually against the wall, arms crossed, smiling faintly. One crouched low, head tilted at an unnatural angle, eyes too wide. The third stood perfectly still, watching Marley the way someone watches a bug trapped under glass. Marley backed away, breath hitching. "Stop," she whispered. "Please." They didn't move. They laughed. Not together, not in sync. Each sound overlapping, unraveling, sliding over itself until it became noise without rhythm. The lights snapped off. When they came back on, the room was empty again. Marley was standing in a different hallway. Her gloves were gone. Her hands were shaking. And from somewhere above her, from the ceiling, she heard something crawling. Marley woke to laughter. It was close. Too close. Her eyes flew open and she sucked in a sharp breath, the sound echoing far louder than it should have. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, bright enough to hurt. She was standing upright, hands braced against cold steel. A prep table. She didn't remember coming here. Her wrist ached. When she looked down, faint reddish marks ringed it, finger-shaped bruises already darkening. She rubbed at them, panic rising, but they didn't fade. "Okay," she whispered hoarsely. "Okay, just focus." The body on the table was covered with a sheet. Marley hesitated. Every instinct screamed at her to leave the room, to back away slowly and not turn her back on anything, but the room felt expectant, like it was holding its breath. Her own voice drifted through her head, calm and wrong.
"You know how this goes."
She swallowed and pulled the sheet back. The body was still, pale, eyes closed, unremarkable in the way the dead often were. Relief washed through her so fast it made her dizzy. She leaned closer, reaching for the instruments. That was when the hand shot up. Cold fingers clamped around her wrist with shocking strength and yanked her forward. Marley gasped, stumbling, dragged down until her face hovered inches from the corpses. The eyes snapped open. They were hers. Same color, same tiny freckle beneath the left eye, same mouth curved into a slow, knowing smile. "Hi," it whispered in her voice. Marley screamed and tore her arm free, stumbling backward until she hit the cabinets hard enough to rattle them. The body vanished. Not slumped, not dropped. Gone. The table was empty, clean, as if no one had ever been there. Marley slid down the cabinet doors, sobbing now, hands pressed to her face. Laughter bubbled up around her, above her, behind her, everywhere at once. When she looked up, she was no longer in the prep room. She was on the ceiling. Her fingers scrabbled uselessly against smooth tile as gravity betrayed her. Below, several Marleys stood in a loose circle, heads tipped back, watching her. Laughing. "Stop!" she cried. "Please, stop!" They didn't move to help. They didn't need to. The lights went out. When they came back on, Marley was alone in a hallway she didn't recognize. And somewhere nearby, a drawer slid open. The mortuary rearranged itself while Marley walked. She noticed it in pieces at first, the way doorways appeared closer than they should have, the way the checkered floor subtly changed pattern beneath her feet. Corners repeated, hallways curved where they hadn't before. The building no longer bothered pretending to follow rules. Marley moved slowly now, arms wrapped around herself, whispering fragments of sentences she didn't remember starting.
I just need to finish,
she murmured.
Just finish and go home. Finish and...
Her voice answered her back from somewhere ahead.
You already did.
She froze. The hallway lights dimmed, then brightened like blinking eyes. A gurney rolled past an intersecting corridor on its own, wheels squealing softly before disappearing into a wall that sealed behind it. Marley laughed once, sharp and hysterical, and clapped a hand over her mouth. Nope, not doing this, she said, nodding as if someone were listening. You don't get to... A door slammed open beside her. Inside the room, several Marleys stood scattered like props in a stage set. One sat cross-legged on the floor, rocking gently, whispering nonsense syllables over and over. One stood inches from the wall, forehead pressed to it, breathing in short, excited bursts. Another leaned over a prep table, miming careful work with empty hands. None of them acknowledged her. Marley backed away, heart pounding.
You're not real,
she said louder now.
You're not.
The Marley on the floor looked up. Shh, she said softly.
You'll wake it.
What? Marley demanded. The lights went out. When they came back, Marley was kneeling in a storage room she didn't recognize, her knees aching against concrete. A scalpel lay in her hand. Red smeared the glove. Her stomach dropped.
No,
she whispered.
No.
Laughter bloomed behind her, warm and approving.
That wasn't for you,
the voices murmured together.
That was for us.
Marley scrambled to her feet and ran. The mortuary didn't chase her. It didn't have to. Every door she opened led deeper inside. Marley stopped running when she realized the building no longer responded to it. Her legs burned. Her lungs ached. But the mortuary didn't hurry her. It adjusted, lights dimming to match her pace, doors opening before she reached them, hallways shortening so she never felt lost enough to panic completely. Not yet. She leaned against a wall, sliding down until she sat on the cold tile floor. Her hands trembled violently in her lap. She stared at them, turning them over as if expecting to find instructions written there.
Okay,
she whispered.
Okay.
The word lost meaning halfway through. Footsteps echoed nearby. Marley's head snapped up.
Hello?
She called, hope flaring stupidly, painfully. Someone stepped into view. Then another. Then another. They didn't rush her. They didn't surround her. They simply occupied the space, scattered at different distances, like markers on a map. 6 Marleys this time. One crouched close enough that Marley could smell her breath, clean, cold, wrong. She smiled with too many teeth and whispered,
"You're shaking."
"I'm tired," Marley said automatically. The Marley standing farthest away tilted her head.
"You don't need that anymore."
"Need what?"
"Trying."
The word echoed, stretching, unraveling. The lights pulsed once in response. Marley laughed weakly.
"You don't get to tell me that,"
she said, though she couldn't remember who they were anymore. "You're just. She couldn't finish the sentence. A hand brushed her hair back with unexpected gentleness. Marley flinched, then froze. The touch wasn't cruel, it wasn't mocking. It was familiar, comforting. She hated it. Her vision blurred. The walls breathed in and out around her. For a moment, just a moment, she felt the pull to let go, to sink into the hum of the building and stop thinking altogether. The Marleys leaned closer, listening.
"Yes,"
they murmured together.
"That."
Marley screamed and shoved herself to her feet, stumbling away as the world fractured again. The floor dropped out from under her. When she woke, she was lying on a bench near the front office. The clock above the desk read 2:13 a.m. Her shift wasn't over. It wasn't even close. The mortuary went still. Not silent, never silent, but settled, like an animal curling in on itself after feeding. The lights near the front office glowed softly now, no longer flickering. The hum in the walls dropped to a low, contented thrum. Marley sat up slowly. Her body felt wrong, heavy in some places, light in others. She checked her hands again, flexing her fingers. The gloves were gone. Her wrists still bore faint bruises, nearly symmetrical. The front desk was tidy, too tidy. Papers stacked neatly, the logbook open to the current page. Her name filled the line. The pen rested beside it, uncapped. Marley stared at the entry, then at the clock above the desk. 2:14 a.m. The second hand moved normally, comfortingly. A door behind the desk creaked open. Marley flinched, bracing for laughter, for movement on the ceiling, for herself stepping out of the dark. None of that happened. The mortuary owner stood there instead, jacket draped over one arm, looking older than she remembered. Tired. His eyes flicked briefly to her wrists, then away. "You're still here," he said quietly. Marley swallowed. "I tried to leave." He nodded once. "Most people do." Something sat on the desk between them. A dollhouse. It was a perfect miniature of the mortuary. Brick exterior, tiny doors, even the narrow windows along the prep rooms. Marley leaned forward without meaning to. Inside, the rooms were detailed down to the smallest steel table. Her breath caught. In one tiny room, a figure stood upside down on the ceiling. She recognized the posture immediately. "I didn't," she began. A voice spoke from the doorway behind the owner. Warm, familiar. calm in the way that had once made everything feel manageable. Did she last longer this time? Marley's heart stuttered. That voice had trained her, had laughed with her during late shifts, had told her the fear would fade. The owner didn't turn around. Long enough, he said. Marley looked back at the dollhouse. Another tiny light flicked on inside. Somewhere deep in the building, a drawer slid shut. The owner closed the logbook gently and pushed it toward her. You can finish up when you're ready. Marley picked up the pen. The mortuary hummed its approval. And this time, no one laughed.